Hi, my name is Bobby, and I want to talk to you tonight about some irons. So, I'm going to show two irons in this video. I'm going to actually demonstrate them working. And before I do that, I just want to show the irons that the video is not about, because I do have a little collection of irons. So I'm always trying to find the perfect one. I do quilt and sew, and as a quilter and a sewer, I need a good iron. So I'm always looking for a really good iron. I also love appliances. I collect vacuum cleaners and sewing machines. So I've got 6 sewing machines and 60 vacuum cleaners. So well, I've got about, what, 7 or 8 irons, so I've got quite a few. But let me go ahead and just show some of these, and just so you have an idea of what I'm coming from, and why that I have moved to some of the other things, like the steamers, and just better quality irons. But the first iron that I ever got actually started out pretty good. I started, instead of with anything cheap, I started with Rowenta. But I was 17 years old when I got this. I bought it at Target, and I bought it with my first paycheck from my first job. So I was really proud of myself for buying a Rowenta, and I've had it for so long that I don't think I'll ever get rid of it, just because it was the first thing I ever bought with my first paycheck from my first job. So I love that, but it is it's so old that it started to yellow. I don't use it anymore. I keep it as a backup and for sentimental reasons, but that's my Rowenta. I have had other Rowentas since, but they always break because I drop them. Even this one, the cover's coming off on the back. I drop them, or the cat drops them off the ironing board, so they don't last forever, of course. So, you know, I have had other Rowentas since and thrown them out, but this is the one that I have still and I will keep forever. But that's my first iron, okay? And then I got several others afterwards. So the oldest, I've also gotten several other brands as well and thrown those out as they stopped working, but the next oldest iron I have is the Oliso. Okay, the Oliso, if you can see, this is the one with the feet that come out at the front and at the back when you let go of the handle. So it's got a sensor in the handle that actually senses your hand, and the feet will pop out so that when you let go of the iron, it sits upright off the surface so it doesn't burn whatever you're touching. So it also will stop steaming when you let go of the handle, and it'll start steaming when you grab the handle. And there's a little feature, if you want to turn that feature on or off, there's a switch on the back to turn that off. So I like the controls, I like the buttons, they're well placed, they're very logical. So I really do like the controls. The steam selection is really nice, and it works. It lights up. It has a big steam, a big water hole, but it doesn't steam very well. It's got also a very rounded nose. The nose isn't very pointed, so I don't love it. It's kind of top heavy. It just feels weird, but I just don't love this iron because it's just not a good quality iron, and the steam is kind of anemic. So that is my Oliso. Okay. And the next iron that I got was the cordless Panasonic that I got and still have, as there were others in between. So cordless Panasonic I've had for a couple of years. Got it at Walmart right when they were closing it out. I got the only one left, but I just wanted this because a lot of quilters like it for piecing and, you know, just having by their machines. So it's kind of a nice iron just to play with. It does steam pretty well for a cordless, but since it is cordless, it's not amazing for ironing lots of fabric or a basket full of clothes or a ton of yardage, but it does work. So it's nice to take places because of the domed carry handle and retractable cord. But you know, I don't use it often, but I have it available. I also have a mini Sunbeam travel iron, and I got this to keep by my machine so that when I'm sewing, I can just press the seams quickly. I did have a problem with the first one of these that I bought. It was only $12, so that's probably expected, right? But you know, I did have a problem with the first one of these I bought because they cracked and it warped right around here. And so somebody actually sent me a new one. I sent them an email and they gave me a new one for free. So that was nice of them. Good customer service, even if the quality's not great. But it does make a little cute puff of steam whenever you hit the buttons on the side, so it actually steams pretty well. It doesn't leak that much, so I don't like the design of the sole plate because it actually grabs fabric and kind of snags and pulls. But if you know how to work it properly and you're careful, you can get around that. I also bought a T-Fall a couple of months ago just to try the brand. I wanted something with a ceramic sole plate just to iron things that might be sticky. And so I bought that. I like that it has a trigger for the steam instead of a button on the top, but it's not an amazing iron. The steam isn't very good. So anyway, that is my T-Fall, and that's pretty much it. So that's my introduction of the irons that I have. Oh yeah, a universal travel iron, vintage, of course, and so I like this one because it's old and it's quality, but the cord is really short. The handle folds down way too easily, so with a hot iron, if you're ironing and the handle folds down and then you touch the hot surface, not good. So I don't use that one. But that's it for the introduction. Now let me go ahead and just show you the irons that I wanted to show you tonight. Okay, so I want to make a video today to show the Reliable Velocity 200IR steam generator iron. So this is it. Okay, it just came today. I just got it today, so I'm still getting to know it. I don't know a lot about it yet, but I have played with it already, and I unboxed it as soon as it came in the door. I've been waiting for it for like 2 weeks now. So anyway, this is the iron, and it is a built-in steam generator and iron all in one. So I'm going to go ahead and just demonstrate it, and we'll see how it works. It's a newer model, but it looks just like one of the older models. It's very similar to a model that they've already had out for a long time that was blue. So it was also called the V200, I think, without the IR. So I don't know what they changed, but this one is the current model. So it was released in August. So let's see, let me just do like an overview of the way that it looks. So this is the water tank here, and it is clear white plastic, so it's very hard to see inside of it to see how much water is left. So I find that a little fascinating. I've read other reviews that say the same thing, and I've noticed it to be true as well. This iron is very heavy. It's about 4 pounds. It's extremely heavy. A lot of people like that because that means that the iron will just be easier to use, or maybe press the wrinkles a little better if it's heavier. So I'm not used to such a heavy iron, so that's going to take a lot of getting used to. Let's see, let me show you the sole plate. So the sole plate is supposed to be some kind of aluminum that is non-stick. So it's got steam holes all the way down. A lot of irons only have them up here. This one has it all the way down. So the steam on this one is automatic. It's always on or always off. You can never do, you can't do a blast of steam. So there's also no cold water shot, since this is a steam generator and boiler all in one. There's no way to do a cold water blast or a direct steam shot. So you've got on or off period. So the hole to fill up the water is here in the top, so you can put 8 ounces in at a time. It's a pretty big hole, and they give you this pitcher as well. So you can put that in, put the water in there and use that to fill it, and that works pretty well. So that's the iron. I'm going to turn it on now, and we'll turn it on to the maximum setting. There's a rotary dial here. It looks like it's a mechanical iron, meaning not digital, but it does light up and beep, so there's got to be some kind of computer circuit going on in there. But I'm going to turn it on. That's the first speed. That's the first temperature. Okay, the lowest one. And then if I move it again, we go to the second one, third one, and maximum. So there are 4 heat settings on this. And what it will do is it will actually sit there and flash at me for about a minute or so, maybe 90 seconds. And once it's done flashing, it will beep to let me know that it's ready. That's kind of a cool feature. So it does have a ball joint on the cord here, so it swivels. So that's kind of nice. The book actually says to use distilled water in this, so if you buy one, it says to use distilled water. It also says to try to lay the iron flat. Don't set it up on its heel if you can help it. It's possible, but it's easier to get knocked over, so they recommend not doing that. So just little tips about it that I've already gleaned from the manual. I've had it for all of 3 hours now, so I'm not an expert yet with it, but soon. But it's kind of a new model, so I wanted to just do this video to show you just what it's all about. So let me show you the controls as well, the other controls. So there's a steam button on the left and a steam button on the right. You might think that that is what you push to get a blast of steam, but this one doesn't do that. So what this does, it turns on the steam all the way, okay? Like you get a medium amount of steam, or you get a full amount of steam. So you can have 2, basically high and low for the steam settings, but they call it medium and high. So that's all. It's just turning steam on and off, but it's automatic steam, so it's not an on-demand kind of thing. So when you grab the handle of this iron, there's actually a contact sensor in the handle, okay? And that contact sensor will actually make steam when you're grabbing the iron, and it will turn the steam function off when you let go of the handle. They say that's to save water and electricity. So, all right, it just beeped. So however long that was, we can look at the video counter and see that's how long it takes to heat up to the maximum setting from a cold iron, okay? No, I'm gonna go ahead and pop you in the tripod so I have both hands free to iron. Okay, so I've got the iron on, it's preheated, right? I'm grabbing it now. I just pushed the steam button to turn it on, and I can turn on the low steam or the higher steam. I'm going to turn on the higher one. It's still not making any steam yet because I haven't touched the handle. As soon as I grab the handle, the pump begins immediately. So you can see the steam coming out. This is low. I'm going to do low. I'll show you how much comes out with low. And then high. So I don't know if you can see that in the video or not, but it's quite a good amount. So you can do vertical steaming with this because it steams whenever you're holding the handle. So you can hold the handle vertically as well as horizontally, and it's going to steam no matter what, as long as you're grabbing the handle. So that works pretty well. Just put it on the fabric and iron. Okay, so it's doing a pretty good job. It is quite heavy. There's a lot to get used to with the weight of this iron. But a lot of people think that helps to get the wrinkles out, so I'm just getting used to it. I'm used to a very lightweight iron, so it's a little different than what I'm used to, but it does work. So I hope you can see the wrinkles coming out on the video. I'm not sure if that will be visible or not, but okay, so I let go of the handle. It has stopped steaming. Okay, so now I can move my fabric, manipulate my fabric any way that I want to. And get right back into ironing. So let's see what it does. There is a little tiny vibration and a little tiny noise from the pump. It's very gentle, very quiet, but the pump does make a noise as it continuously feeds the water. So I'm getting used to it. It's actually quite pleasant to iron yardage with. I like this. It's kind of fun. I didn't like ironing clothes with it. I tried just a shirt or two and I didn't like that, but fabric, it seems to be working wonderfully. And that's the reason I bought it, because I'm a quilter and I iron fabric. I thought that it would be good for that. So a lot of people who are quilters and sewers also love this iron, or irons like this. So that's the reason I got it. Now you can see that while it is ironing the most of the wrinkles out, it's not ironing out some of the deeper creases. Okay? Some of these deeper creases are staying in there. So there's no cold water blast. Usually to handle that, what I would do is I would get a cold water blast on the front of the iron and I would just press that. But I don't have that, so I have a spray bottle instead. So I can spray this, and let's see if that helps knock out some of the wrinkles. Turning it on, and let's see, the cold water works. So now the wrinkles are gone. You have to excuse my dirty ironing board cover. I have actually made a new one. I've started to, but I haven't finished it yet, so I can't really use that in the video because it's not done. I use this fabric to make it, so it will be yellow when it's finished. That's why I bought this fabric. So another thing you can do with this iron is you can turn off the auto off. So after 8 minutes of an activity, this iron will turn itself off. If you don't want it to do that because you want to leave it on all day long because you're a sewer, you hold down the steam button for 5 seconds. It's flashing, and that means that it has just deactivated the auto off. So now it will stay on for as long as I want it to. Turn it back off, just switch the dial. I like the way it lights up. Okay, the controls do feel a little cheap. The knobs, the paint on the buttons, they do seem a little cheap, so we'll see how that wears over time. But, you know, those are just initial observations after only having had the iron for a few hours. So I will update if I get a different opinion. Maybe I'll decide I hate it and return it. I doubt that, but we'll see. I mean, it's $169, so for an iron to be $169, it needs to be pretty perfect. And I'm not sure this one's perfect yet, but I'm just enjoying getting to know it. I always love a new iron, so That's pretty much the reliable velocity 200IR. Okay, I'm also going to make a second part to this video and compare it to my trusty LauraStar. So the next part of this video will be about my LauraStar Magic Evolution. Please stay tuned for that part as well. Okay, so I'm back, and I have just shown you my reliable velocity iron that just arrived today. Now I want to show you my pride and joy, my baby, my LauraStar. I did want to stop the video and do it in two parts because I needed to let the LauraStar heat up a little bit because it was it takes 10 minutes to heat up because it's such a big boiler. So I didn't want to make you wait for that. So I did want to just show you that. But let me get the reliable out of the way so we can go over the LauraStar's features and functions. I did want to point out while I still have the reliable here. Just the tip of the sole plate is very sharp. I like that. Compare it to my Oliso, for example. See how round the Oliso is in comparison to the... So the Oliso is this one. Okay, and this is the reliable. See how round the tip of the Oliso is? So if you need to get between buttons or something, you know, it's nice to have a sharper point on the end. So another reason I love the LauraStar. But let me go ahead and talk about my LauraStar because it's the love of my ironing life. So basically, the LauraStar I got it at Craigslist, actually. So I drove an hour to get it because when I saw it, I knew what it was. I know what a LauraStar is. I've known for years about them, and I just didn't think I'd ever spend $2,000 on an iron. I didn't. I got this one for 50 bucks used. This one is older, so it's an older model. It doesn't have the fan underneath the board. A lot of the newer ones have a fan under the board that that will suck and blow air through the board to hold fabric down or to blow it up. So mine doesn't have that, but I did buy one like that a few months ago just to try it out, and the quality was awful. So the newer LauraStars are terrible, and so I actually had to throw it in the dumpster because there's only 1% of the country who repairs them, and there are no parts available for the older models. So I threw it away after driving 2 hours to buy it, and the same night I got it, I threw it in the garbage, or the next day after I found out by talking to the guy who fixes them. But anyway, so this one's an older one, and it's the quality's stellar, so I love it. Basically, if you don't know what a LauraStar is a steam generator. Okay, so it's an iron and a steam generator, and the ironing board is part of it, and so the ironing board is part of it, and the steam generator is connected to the ironing board, and then the iron is connected with a hose. So that's cool, but the really good thing is that every single component of the entire system is excellent quality. So you'll have to excuse my dirty ironing board cover because it's dirty, it's old. That's the one it came with, and I'm going to make a new one for it out of that yellow fabric. I've already started, but I wanted to just go ahead and make the video before that's completed. So basically, this whole iron is just amazing quality. So the ironing board is very stable. Okay, it's very tall and very wide, and it's very long, and you know, I can put my whole weight on there and it's not going to collapse. If I had a regular ironing board and I put my weight on there, I would smash it flat. I did actually. I actually pushed too hard on an ironing board and broke it in half and popped the rivets out of the legs. So it's possible. This one is very stable and sturdy. So the ironing board itself is wonderful, and I use it for my other irons as well because it's so cool. The iron itself, the handpiece, amazing quality. I mean, just, it's so solid. It's lightweight, sharp point, right? It fits everywhere I need it to. It's just a really good iron. The tips, just like a professional iron, are only, the steam holes are only at the tip. So you steam here, and then this part dries the fabric as you pass over it. So really good quality iron. It just feels good in the hands. It feels so solid. It's like a real tool or a piece of equipment instead of a toy. So very, very nice. It does have this little platform that comes out that you can rest the iron on, and then you can put it under here if you ever store it. I don't store it because I don't put it away. It's very heavy, first of all, and second of all, I use it too much to put it away. So the boiler underneath, also good quality. It, let's see, let me show you just a little bit about that. So the boiler underneath has two buttons, okay? One button is for the iron itself, the little red lights down there. One, it's a rocker switch actually, but one of them is for the iron, one of them is for the boiler. There's a green light as well. It just tells you when the heating element is on. When it runs out of water, it will beep and flash. The reliable will as well. I forgot to tell you that, but the reliable will as well. But it'll beep, and I don't think it flashes the LauraStar, but it will beep to tell you it's out of water, so that's nice. Now, the red cap down there, that is actually the cap where you add water. It's a pressurized boiler, so you do have to wait for it to cool off before you can add water to it. But it actually, if I had gotten new, it would have come with a steam filler cap. I didn't buy mine new, of course, so what I did instead, to fill that up, I didn't buy the bottle that's LauraStar branded. So I just bought a little condiment bottle from Walmart, and I just use that to add water to it, and it works really well. So that's fine. Another really good thing about the LauraStar, there's no auto off. So I've not burned the house down yet, but that's nice because if you're a sewer or a quilter, you might leave it on all day long. So you don't want auto off if you're a sewer. So you just have to remember to use common sense and not leave it on all day. So there is a drain plug at the bottom of the boiler down there if I want to release all of the water. So I could do that to change the water for maintenance or to put it away for long term. It also did not come with this. I just bought this, the hose holder. And this really helps to keep the hose out of the way. Before I got this, it would have come with it new, but since I bought it used, it didn't come with that. Let me show you. So basically this thing. So this is a hose minder or a cord keeper. This just kind of holds, and this is actually a LauraStar branded one because I needed one that was big enough for the hose. They call this a monotube because it's got the electricity and the water going through it. But this one, I needed one big enough for this hose. So a regular cord minder wouldn't work. So I had to buy this one, LauraStar branded, $45. Are you kidding me? But you know, I needed one that would work. And so this really keeps the hose and cord out of the way, and it'll work with any iron. So that's really nice because I know if it's big enough for this, it'll be big enough for any iron I have in the future. So that's really good because before I had this, the fabric that would be hanging over the edge of the board, the front edge, I would be dragging the hose against it and actually putting wrinkles into things that I just ironed. So that is something that I did not like. So let me go ahead and just move you a little bit, and then I want to show this thing in action because it blows my mind. Every time I use it, and I've had it for 2 years, I smile. A smile just washes over my entire being. It's that amazing. It's really cool. So let's zoom out so we can see the whole thing in action. So, got Laura, okay? Nice quality, lightweight, solid handpiece. It's light because it doesn't have the water in it, but it's still heavy, heavy duty. You can tell that it's still built nicely. So I can iron without steam if I don't want to, okay? If I want steam, I just push this button on the top. I need to hold it down. As long as I want steam, this button has to be held down. And as soon as I release it, the steam will stop. So let's go ahead and try it. Done. Okay, so it was that fast, it was that easy, and it was fun. I enjoyed every second of that. It just made me smile. Watch this. So I don't know if the steam is coming up on the camera or not. I got a wild hair to make this video at night, and I just don't know if that steam is going to show up on the camera, but it doesn't make a ton of steam. It makes enough. It makes a good amount, but it's not a crazy amount that's going to fog up your house or something. But the thing about the steam from the LauraStar is that it's a very dry steam. So it's not a wet steam. So that's really cool. It works better and it doesn't soak everything. So that's really nice. So I just love everything about it. I can't say enough. I'm thrilled with the LauraStar. The vintage one, I don't think I would like a new one. But a vintage one, you know, this one's probably 10 years old. It's amazing. So let's go ahead and iron the rest of this fabric. So no steam, steam. I could listen to that sound all day long. So it's fun. There is also a temperature dial for the iron separately on the handpiece itself. I leave it on maximum. Okay, because I'm always ironing 100% cotton. I don't really iron anything else, and so I just always leave it on the highest setting. So I've never had an issue with this iron, and it had a hard life before I bought it. Very obviously, it was abused. It was cosmetically in just terrible shape, and you know, it had a hard life. So the pump works wonderfully. It's never failed. It's never given me any signs of ever going out. I hope it never does, because I don't know what I'll do if it does. I mean, I'll probably get a life height instead because I can't buy a new LauraStar. But yeah, I would get a life height instead. But I would hope that this one never breaks because they don't make parts for them anymore. And there's only one person in the country who works on them. Vertical steaming, it also works well for vertical steaming, so I could do that if I wanted to. If I had something hanging up, I could steam it. and it works wonderfully for that. So I totally love the LauraStar. If you can find a good deal on a used model, please buy it. You'd be doing yourself a huge favor. I would not spend $2,000 on a new one, but $50 for a used one. Any amount under $500 probably. Amazing. So mine is actually called the Premium Evolution model, by the way. So Premium Evolution, okay. So I call it the Magic Evolution. No, the Magic are the newer ones. This is the Premium Evolution. But, you know, that's what the underside of it looks like. The board is mesh, so, you know, it allows the steam to pass through, but there is no fan under there. But it really is the best thing I ever purchased. It was the best money I ever spent, and I've not regretted it for 1 second. So that's my video of the LauraStar, and that's about it for tonight. So thanks for watching. Bye.